Hey guys, today I'm doing a review for Goosebumps Most Wanted, wait a sec, I'm just trying to get the camera right, sorry. Goosebumps Most Wanted, it's a special edition number 2, 12 Screams of Christmas. So this book is really good. I'm gonna start off with no spoilers. I really recommend going this completely blind. Don't read the back, don't read anything. But basically, there's this girl, and so I'd recommend don't watch this review, even though it's going to start off spoiler free, then it's going to get into spoilers later, which I'll mention. I'd still recommend going into this book completely blind. It's worth it. Yeah, so there's this girl, she is called Kate. Kate, you can read the back if you want like a description of the book. One thing about the description that it doesn't say is this girl can see ghosts. I did not know that. I had read the back, but it doesn't mention that. And it's never ever done with that. It's barely ever done with that for Goosebumps books from what I can remember. Like, I don't know, it's not like the kids in Night of the Living Dummy can talk to Slappy, even though they kind of can. That was kind of stupid. I don't know. It's not like Evan can telepathically communicate with monster blood, can he? But yeah, she can see ghosts, and everyone kind of makes fun of her because they'll think she's insane. Kind of reminds me of The Sixth Sense, which is a movie I really like, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. I've only seen 2 of his movies, that and Unbreakable, but this is not a Sixth Sense or Unbreakable review, so I should get back to reviewing this. I loved this book. She can see ghosts. Yeah, so basically she's friends with this guy called, it doesn't say on the back, I'll just call him Matt, for example, but she's friends with this guy called Matt, who she actually kind of likes, which is barely ever done with Goosebumps books. Again, another thing that's not really done that much, where they have a crush on someone. I mean, sometimes it's done, and I didn't really care for that part. It's not like I'm so, oh my god, finally, they're introducing romance in Goosebumps books, but yeah, it isn't even addressed that much, so I think the book would have pretty much been the same if they deleted that part, with the kind of slight romance thing. Yeah, this kid, Kate, she really, she's kind of like a theatre kid or whatever. She really wants to be in this show called The 12 Screams of Christmas. That's the name of the book! The 12 Screams of Christmas. I just went blank for a moment, sorry. The 12 Screams of Christmas, and she's competing for like the main part or whatever. There's this girl in her class called Courtney, it's Courtney, right? Courtney, and she always kind of talks. Wait, is it from her perspective? Yeah, so she always kind of talks about, oh, me and Courtney are kind of like frenemies, like we pretend to be friends, but we're not. But like, they aren't even like frenemies. Like, yeah, it's Courtney, just like basically bullies her, like makes fun of her all the time, because when she was young, in like the year before, she saw a ghost at like, I don't know, I think it was like a dance or something, and everyone made fun of her, and they call her Ghost Girl now. And yeah, so Courtney makes fun of her all the time. And so eventually they're like auditioning for the show, and they're auditioning for the show. The teacher, she gets Kate to like go into like a room to get something. She goes in there and it's locked. And eventually someone has locked it, and she's like, oh no. Eventually, like 30 minutes later, it's unlocked because her friend unlocks it for her, and he's like, dude, you've been ages. And then it turns out that I forgot to mention, Courtney is auditioning for the same part as Kate. I keep getting mixed up with the names in this one. So what she did, she locked Courtney in the cupboard so that she was more likely to get the part. I think she like punches Courtney or something. Absolutely iconic. good for her. Yeah. Courtney was like really unlikable. She kind of reminds me of that girl in You Can't Scare Me. I can't remember the girl's name, but like you'll know the one I'm talking about, the one that's like a really annoying know-it-all. Yeah. So she and they're both banned from it, and I think they get like understudy or something. Can't really remember. Yeah. They so they get like much worse parts in the role, both of them. Eventually their teacher takes them to this haunted house because he wrote the script for the 12 Screams of Christmas, and it's inspired by a family story that's family spread around from like descendants from 100 years ago or something. The I forgot to mention this, which is really stupid, but the prologue of the book, it follows these a boy who's I think a twin, and his brother and their sister. The sister dies, and yeah. So turns out Kate and Courtney. This is a bunch. This is in like a first 100 pages, I think 80 pages. I don't know. It takes a while for them to get it. The first 80 pages or something is a bit of a slow burn for a Goosebumps book. It's only like 170 pages, so it isn't really that much. But yeah. Yeah, and they get there, and then this is when I'm gonna kind of get into spoilers. Even though I've said like a million times, please, please go into this blind. Do not like. This is such a good book. Definitely recommend it. The best, most wanted book I've read, though I've only read 3, including this one. So not really saying much, but yeah, I loved this. Definitely 9 out of 10. Characters were very well written. The eeriness was really good, especially in one scene later. The like scariness or whatever. That's what I meant. What else was done well? I loved the kind of setting of the haunted house in the second half. The characters, I mentioned the characters' plot was kind of good. It does kind of fall off in the second half though, which I find kind of weird because the second half, it's where it actually gets going, but I was much more invested in the first half, though I still love the second half. Anyway, now this review is really long. I'm getting into spoilers right now and it's already been 7.5 minutes. Wow. Anyway, great Christmas book or whatever. Please leave now. 3, 2, 1. Okay, getting into spoilers. She goes to the house, and I think she gets like locked in the attic or something because they're staying away. She goes into the attic, and there are these the mum ghost, dad ghost, brother ghost, other brother ghost. Yeah, the people in the prologue, they've all died and turned into ghosts now. And basically, the way the daughter died from the family from like 100 years ago, this is getting super confusing the way I'm explaining it. She fell down a well and died, so her ghost isn't there for some reason. Her ghost is in the well, which must be really depressing. Imagine how bored that you'd be, like being just stuck in a well for 100 years, fully conscious. Yeah, 12. Just almost said the name of the book. I don't know why. Yeah, and then for some reason, this sounds like really weird, but they want Kate to be their daughter, like take her place or something, and they start calling her by the name of the daughter. Not sure what the daughter's name is. Or call Sharon. Why the heck not? They want her to take Sharon's place. And then they kind of like make her do this thing on Christmas. So they're making her have this dinner, but it's like super weird. It's like filled with mice heads. I remember them describing that. I really loved this scene. It was like 30 pages long, 20 pages long or something. But it's this long scene of her in the attic and them basically like, I don't want to say torturing her, but yeah. And then basically the mum ghost and the dad ghost, they bring out this skeleton in a Santa Claus costume, and they want her to sit on Father Christmas's lap. And then what the really annoying thing is, they just like, they say, you've ruined the tradition, and they put the Father Christmas skeleton corpse thing back in. That was pretty dark for a Goosebumps book, a straight up skeleton that they bring out every year to act as like Santa Claus thing. Yeah. eventually, I read this book like 2 weeks ago and I can barely remember it. The reason I couldn't do a review for it is because I let my friend borrow it. Yeah, 12 Screams of Christmas. No clue why I said the name of the book there. 10 minutes and 10 seconds already. Wow, I gotta wrap this review up quick. So the girl, eventually, I'm pretty sure she gets out somehow. Read this book like 2 weeks ago. Love it, and I can barely remember any of it. Yeah, that happens a lot. I read a book like 2 days later, I forget the whole thing. But yeah. So she goes. She gets out and she tries to let the ghost girl in. The ghost girl is called Willa. Wait, it is Willa. I think so. If it isn't Willow, then I'm just being really stupid. But if it is Willow, yeah. So Willow, whatever. She tries to save her, and eventually, Courtney comes out, and she's like, "Oh, what are you doing?" And she can't save. Basically, Kate can't save Willa, and she goes like, "Oh, please, could you help me?" And then Courtney's trying to like make fun of her or whatever. Eventually, they save Willa, but Courtney sees the ghost and she's like, "Oh my god, a ghost!" And everyone makes fun of Courtney. Ha ha ha! Yes, Courtney's finally getting what she deserved. Yeah. Then I guess can't really remember what happened at the end, but yeah. Then the final twist or whatever, not that special, it's alright I guess, but Willa the ghost girl, if she isn't called Willa, that would be like super embarrassing. Yeah, she's like, "Oh, I don't want my family, they abandoned me for like 100 years, which kind of understand, you know." And then she's like, "Oh, will you be my best friend?" Yeah, then that's pretty much the end. Yeah. Overall, I'd give this book a 9 out of 10. Love the first half, like the second half a bit less, but yeah, still really enjoyed it. Probably in my top 10 Goosebumps books. Yeah, forgot to mention this before I got into spoiler territory. I love the background of the cover. It is so good. It's like kind of like Dead House but with Christmas lights. And then I hate the look of the ghost. Just don't like it. Could have been done so much better. Looks really ugly. Anyway, I'm going to say goodbye now. This review is way too long. It is 12 minutes and 45 seconds as of now. People have definitely clicked off about 30 seconds in. Anyway, bye, and Merry Christmas Eve, even though I'm recording this on the 22nd, but it'll probably be uploaded on Christmas Eve. Bye.